To start off, I'm gonna be reviewing some PS2 games, PS3 games, PSP games, and Nintendo GameCube games. And because there's only systems I have. So, to start off, number 10 would be Red Faction. Red Faction for the PS2 is number 10 on my list because it's like a whole bunch of different games in one. You get destructible environments where you're a guy running around in a mine and you have to escape, and you can blow up things in the mine to get through your areas. It's also got like a James Bond setting where you can sneak around and run past people without getting caught and alarms go off and stuff. There's also monsters in it every once in a while, like these zombie things, and I don't know. It's just a really good game. Number 9 on my list happens to be Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine is number 9 on my list because it's probably one of the only games I've ever fully beat in my life. And it happens to be just a very good game. You can free roam around as much as you want. You get this little laser cannon, you can water stuff down, spray people. I don't know, it's pretty fun. The story, there's not much of a story, like cutscenes and all that, but it's got a really good gameplay. Alright, let's do number 8. Okay, number 8 is a game that many probably don't even know. And here it is. Number 8 on my list is Hot Wheels Velocity X. This game is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite racing games ever. It's a bit of a mix between Twisted Metal and just stunt action racing games. It's just got great battles. It's got awesome multiplayer. It's great to play with friends. And I don't know. This is another game that I've beat. It's amazing. Graphics are a little on the bleh side, but the gameplay is just great. Buy it if you can, as it's not really sold anywhere. Okay, now for number 7. Number 7 on my list is a game that many of you have probably played or at least heard of. And that is Super Smash Bros. Melee. I chose Super Smash Bros. Melee for number 7 because it's just plain awesome. There's a lot added to it than the original Super Smash Bros. And I just think it's a lot more fun to play than Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I never really got into that. This one has so many maps. It's got good music. 6, I think. Okay, number 6 on my list is finally a PS3 game. And that is Call of Duty World at War. I chose Call of Duty World at War because it was my first real first-person shooter for the PS3, and online is just great. My favorite thing about it, though, is the Nazi zombies. The zombies that you have to kill and survive as long as you can. It's just a blast to play. If you're looking for a good FPS, this is for you. Okay, number 6, I think, or 7, or 9, or whatever, is Fallout 3. This was my first game ever for the PS3, and I got the Game of the Year edition. It was only $40, so it was a good deal, brand new. It's got all the add-ons, and which is really good because I beat the whole game, and now I got the add-ons to play. I put in maybe like 20 hours into it already. It's a great game. You got this big wide open area to play around. It's just awesome. Number 4, I think, on my list. Should be no surprise to anybody because you have to put a Guitar Hero in your list. Anyway, I put Guitar Hero 3 on my list because It was my first Guitar Hero that I got. I owned 2 and World Tour, but World Tour, that just didn't give it to me. It had very poor graphics. This one's got the best graphics out of them all, and it's got the best song list. It's got a really good storyline, well, campaign mode thing. I like the battles in it. That's really fun. And it's got the hardest song, Through the Fire and Flames, in it. 3 on my list is the first PSP game. This is probably one of the first PSP games I've ever owned, and here it is. Tekken Dark Resurrection for the PSP. This game is amazing. I've said amazing 1,000 times, but this one is amazing. You get to choose up to, like, I don't know, 20 something characters. You got so many stages in it, and the fighting moves in this game is awesome. The graphics are pretty darn good for the PSP, and this is just a great fighting game for all people. Number 2 on the list is no surprise to anybody who's owned the PS3 at all in their life, or heard of PS3s and their good games. Number 2 is a game with the number 2 in it, Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 deserves the number 2 spot because it's got like the greatest graphics of all time. It's got a very, very good storyline. This is another game that I've totally beat. It's got multiplayer, which is just as fun to play. It's got 25 perfect reviews for the game, which of course you're gonna know it's gonna be pretty darn good then. And it's totally addicting. Everybody should play it if they can. And yeah, gotta get this game if you own PS3. Moment of truth. The number 1 game of all time of my list happens to be Time Splitters 2. This came out for the GameCube, Xbox, and PS2, but I got the GameCube version. I do not have the original box. This is just a GameSpot or GameStop box, as you can see. But Time Splitters 2 is my number 1 game because it's no doubt probably one of the best FPS games ever created. It's got such smooth, like, the gameplay is so smooth, there's no frame rate drops at all. The multiplayer is probably the best multiplayer ever. If you own or love FPS games or whatever at all, you need to get this game. Especially if you play with friends. This game is unbelievable. You can make your own maps. You got so many weapons. You got so many characters. So many game modes. This game is amazing. Splitters 2 is probably 8 times better than Halo and Modern Warfare 2 and all those games ever. But I do have 3 honorable mentions. Number 1, or honorable mention, is Mario Kart Double Dash. This game is great to play with friends. It's got so many racing modes and it's super fast. The tracks are just unbelievable. Play it. Number 2, Resistance Retribution for the PSP. I bought this day 1. It's got probably a really good online game. It's probably the only online game I've ever played. And I like to fart on it. So, yeah. And Modern Warfare 2, you gotta put that in somewhere. Although I do want to sell this game because I don't... It's getting old. It's getting old! I bought it brand new, and the day I played it, I was like, oh, I'm bored. So yeah. Anybody want to buy it? Brand new? Woo! Not really brand new, but used, but it looks brand new. Yeah. Bye.